He says, I am fucking live. Give me 2 seconds before I share this shit. Before we go, because these bitches on my page need to hear what I got to say, and you too. Yeah, boy. All right. What's up, everybody? And welcome to Sweet.ThePodcast episode, whatever the fuck this is, 28. And this is entitled The Uprising, and it's because of all what is going on, all this shit that is happening, and it is an uprising. There's no little riots. It's not a riot, it's a rebellion. But you people, I'm going to educate y'all today, and I have a guest. I'm going to bring them on before I start ranting just religiously and just going in. Bros and Convos on creative director and just all of the things. Daniel J. Downer, how are you doing, Daniel?
Hi, I am, I'm here. That's the best honest answer that I can give you, is that I'm presently here, and I'm going to give the disclaimer that the views that I'm sharing are of my own. I'm not speaking as Daniel, the executive director of the Bros and Convo Initiative. I'm speaking as Daniel J. Downer, a Black man in America. The end.
All his own shit. This is not representation of any other affiliation.
No, I'm speaking from my experience.
Okay, I have no fucking idea where to begin, but I'm gonna start here with this because we were talking before the show about allies and people needing assistance. The Caucasian population needing to know they want us to teach them about the white population. White America wants the Black population to teach them in 2020 about racism, about what should we do, what can we say. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Me, this is me.
Yes,
I have not 1 ounce of knowledge to share to them. I mean, like nothing. I've given all I have to them. All of my focus now is to us, and if I need to read you us, I will tear you bitches down too, which I've been doing, and I will continue to tear you down. But I'm gonna get real good into y'all in a minute. But Daniel, we're gonna stay on the white population right now, the allies. How do you feel about assisting them, helping them know the verbiage and what they need to know?
Okay, so first thing, it is not my job as a Black individual to educate a white individual about how they need to show up and stand up as an ally at all. That just, to me, that runs right back into this whole thing about power and privilege. Like, it's your power and your privilege, you should be using that to educate yourself. Black folks, Black people, we should not be having to teach you how to advocate for us, how to fight for us, how to stand up, how to do all of that. And it's interesting because I was sitting and processing everything that was going on Friday. Like, I just took time away from doing everything. And I went to my favorite sanctuary, which is a farm in Seminole County. Okay. And I just laid in a hammock all day and just processed, went from feeling angry to crying to helpless to hopeless to frustrated. And, just really sat in the pain I felt and I'm feeling as a Black man, the rage that I'm feeling as a Black man, the helplessness that I'm feeling as a Black man. And in the midst of that, a white person said to me, or messaged me and said, you need to tell me and other white people how we can support. I had to take a moment. I really had to take a moment because it was kind of really? So as a Black person, I have to process and sit in the racism, the oppression, the violence that I'm experiencing. In the midst of that, you want me to take the time out to teach you something that you should take the initiative to know. And I really feel like in 2020, there's no excuse as a white person that you have to not know how racism and oppression and violence has been inflicted on Black people.
Yes.
But also, like, in 2020, like, how you should take the initiative to educate yourself and not, like, say to someone who's oppressed, you need to do this. Like,
right.
No, we don't.
What the fuck?
Now, there are some white people who they want to verbalize it, but they're not sure how to verbalize it. And so I'm okay with, you know, someone white saying to me, hey, Daniel, I've developed like this statement, or I'm wanting to say something on social media. Right. I've already written it. Can you look at it, make sure that like this is really, you know, it's really cool, copacetic, everything, all of that. I'm completely fine with that because I feel like you've already taken the initiative and you've already done the work.
Exactly.
To do. But I shouldn't be having to educate you about where you need to go and donate. I shouldn't be educating you about how you should maybe decide that you want to peacefully protest or agitate through rioting. I shouldn't be educating you about, if that's not what you're wanting to do, maybe your support looks like providing food or providing water or, you know, providing transportation to folks that get bailed out. Like,
right.
I feel that white people use their power and privilege to research, investigate, educate themselves about everything else. So
except Black issues.
So keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. So yeah, like, for lack of a better word, it teed me off. And it motivated me to write. And I wrote an article, which if you want to look it up, you can. It's on Medium. It's called Dear White People, Here's How You Can Help. And it is my parting gift.
I will post that.
Yes, it is my parting gift to educate white people about some of the things that they should already know to do. So it's my gift. I've given it. At this time, the gift of educating how to support, how to stand up, how to do all of that is closed, at least from me, from Daniel.
You heard it. It is closed. I'm going to post that damn article, I promise. And I'm going to link it to this bitch too after this shit is over.
Yeah, it definitely gives a comprehensive, it's a comprehensive guide to how white people can help. And like I said, I highlighted some of those things. Like, you can donate, you can educate yourself. I think it's also important to have those conversations, not only on social media. Social media is completely great. It's completely fine. But really, those conversations need to be had at your kitchen tables, at your dinner tables, with your friends that you go to Southern Nights, Ember, Sunday Fun Day with. Y'all like to twirl, sing at the top of your lungs, Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga. But in this crucial time and moment, y'all are mute. Y'all are not saying anything, and your silence is deafening. We can definitely see it. That's one thing that I think has been also frustrating me throughout this whole thing is like looking and seeing whether it's organizations that service LGBTQ plus communities or establishments that service LGBTQ plus communities being silent, especially when Black and brown, when you've profited off of Black and brown folk, when we are the ones that are buying the liquor at Sunday Fun Day,
Literally.
Ones who are tipping the bartenders, coming to hip hop night, coming to drag night. And we can't get a statement. We can't get an Instagram post. We can't get nothing. Like,
but at this point, for me, see, you're the yin to the yang of me. Mm-hmm. You're the yin, I'm the yang. At this point, if you release a statement, I don't give a fuck about it, because it's only been after public pressure, like all these corporations, Disney, Nike, Amazon, ABC, CBS, releasing fucking statement. Oh, Black Lives Matter. I want you to release a transcript of the amount of black people you hire. ABC, bitch, show me all the black writers you got, all the camera operators. I need to see that you really saying.
It's been really interesting, because I do think that some entities are still processing, and I will give grace and permission. I'll give you grace that you're still processing. But what was shared with me that was really important was, I was saying this to a friend about like my frustration, and he said, well, Daniel, what do you expect when the boards of some of these organizations are so far removed from the realities of like what's happening on the ground? And it really kind of was basically like, a girl, you need to wake up, like, right?
I don't give a fuck how far removed they are.
Right. But to me, I feel like even with that, in this day and time, there's no way that you cannot see what is happening. There's no way that you cannot notice what is happening. And so if you are providing services to Black folk, if you have, what does this, one of the things, one of the things that made me and the Bros and Convo Initiative release a statement so quickly was because, well, we're Black. But it was just kind of like feeling that pain, feeling that frustration, feeling that rage, and being like, we have to declare that this isn't right. Like that this is not right, and that this cannot be tolerated. And so when you're silent, even if, because a lot of white people are saying, well, my silence isn't because I'm for the other side or I'm racist. It's because I just don't know what to say. Then verbalize you don't know what to say. But not saying anything is the same as
condoning their action
and agreeing. Exactly. And so to me, that has been there have been many disappointing things, but that has been one of those disappointing things where I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for statements to be released. I'm still waiting for a lot of these prominent gay socialites, IG celebrities, models, whatever you want to call, that we see down at the bar, down at the club, that, have a Black friend as an accessory.
Come on.
That won't talk to you when they see you, but at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning will hit you up on Jacked and Grindr because they want their cake smashed or they want to smash your cakes. I'm waiting for those people to stand up and say something.
That's you.
I'm waiting. And I may be waiting till Jesus come, but I feel like if you're not saying anything, then you're trash, just like the rest of them.
You are. And Jeremy, I see you. I see you in the background. I'm about to bring you in. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. If you're driving, you can't do that. So I'm bringing him in.
Oh, hey, beloved.
Hello, my love. How are you?
Oh, it is so good to see my fellow Sanfordian.
Yes, indeed. Although we have not seen each other in Sanford.
We have seen each other in spirit. Amen.
Yes, we have.
Amen.
Yeah. Thank God for Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy, we're glad you're joining us. We're talking about all the shits of what's going on, and we're right now talking about white people wanting us to explain why we're upset. Do you have
what?
I know,
just
right?
when I
That's
thought,
a good reaction.
we would pass one shit show, then here comes another one. I am like all over the place. I'm so just I don't know. I'm angry. I'm disgusted. I'm hurt. I'm sad. I'm happy. I don't even. I'm all over the place. And I'm probably gonna get some stuff, and I know that this may not be right, but I'm gonna say it because this is how I feel. This is me, and I'm sorry. I just gotta be honest. I really don't give a damn about no police's stations getting blown up. I don't care about no cars being shot and shit. I don't care about none of that shit. To be honest, I don't. It does. I could care less. I could honestly care. I don't even know if I could care any less than I do now. I don't give a damn. I really don't. Because you know what? And I really don't really care to hear that there are some good cops. I know, yeah. Okay, great. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So just like my life that I have to suffer with the bad because I'm black, and the black, it could be a lady down the street that had an experience with a black person and she was so angry, so now all of us are the same way. Unfortunately, I got to take that. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really care. I don't. They need to, it's unfortunate that it has gotten to that point, but I just wish that my people would have fought a little bit harder back in the day, and then maybe we wouldn't be at this place. And I'm not saying that they could have, I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Because I know that my little black voice would have been gone down. And if I was in 1920 or 1930 or 1940, I wouldn't even be able to know. The first thing they'd have took out was my tongue. They'd have ripped it right out because they said, you know what, I can't with him.
He's spreading.
So, right. I'm so tired. I'm tired, and I'm gonna tell you something. I've shared this with people before, not with a few people, but when I was 19 years old, I was at a party, we go in college doing our little thing, and then we're gonna go off to a little party, whatever. It was at a party at a warehouse. So we're at the warehouse, and then the police came in and like shut the whole thing down. So we're running out, they're like, get out of here, get out of now, blah, blah. They get on the ground, they told me to get on the ground, me and a couple other people. I had a gun, a police real gun to my head. And he said, sit on the ground, get on the ground. I'm like, where am I going? I'm laying here. In that moment, I'm telling you, I was crying. God, my mama, my daddy, my siblings. Oh my God, I'm finna die. Like, what am I, like, is my mama even gonna know I'm here? All of that.
Right.
I'm telling you, since then, I had lost all respect for them. And then they finally let us get up. They let us get up and they let us go. Get out of here and don't come back. That was my experience. And it was the worst experience. And I'm gonna tell you something else. When me and my cousins, because see, I was raised that my mom taught us, if you don't have any money, you're not going to the mall. Nope, you're not going anywhere. You don't have no money, because they would not say that you're stealing something or somebody whatever. You know what I'm saying? She was just looking out for us. And I remember in the mall, two of my cousins, we were in the mall together. We were young teenagers. And it was some 3 white guys with Confederate flag jackets on. And they said, they walked past us, and we were just sitting in the food court. And it's like, oh, you niggas got a stand problem? And I was like, wait, what? So my cousin picked up a chair to throw at them. But the chair with the legs got stuck in another chair. Mm-hmm. And as soon as people seeing all the commotion and they cussing at us and yelling at us and stuff like that, security runs clean right to us. You guys got to get out of here. All of this right to us. It was a little old, small, little itty bitty, probably at least about 5'1", little white lady. Mm. She stood up in front of him, and I could see her face right now. She stood in front of the security and told him, no, don't you dare say anything to those guys, to those young men. Those white boys did everything to them. She said, I sat right here and I watched them. They came over to them, starting with them. If it had not been for that little white lady, I don't know. I'm sure he was just small security, but
he would have called the police.
He would have called the police. So thank God for her and her voice. It just don't make sense to me. And I live it. I live it. I've experienced it. I done been in a store within a around me a couple times asking, you know what I'm saying? Just looking at everything that I do. And I'm like, okay, look, finally, what the hell do you want? I'm not stealing shit out of here. I don't want shit. I got money in my pocket. I don't want anything out the stove. You know what I mean? It's just, it's ridiculous. But, you know, you almost kind of get numb to it, and then you don't want to get numb to it because you want to be able to do something about it. But then when you do say something about it, you're going to look like the angry black man, and you don't want to look like that. You just don't, you know, it's I don't know.
But, you know,
I'm sorry.
I don't, and I don't think that you should apologize for it. I think that as black people, we have dealt with so much shit from white folks that, like, we are justifiable in our anger and our rage. And I was sharing with someone, white folks are allowed to express themselves however they.
Yes.
If they don't like something or they're frustrated with something, they're allowed to express that. But we are never allowed that. And I think what people are seeing is all of the anger and the rage that we are dealing with, from the traumatization that our ancestors and our elders had to deal with, from them pulling them out of their houses and bringing them up on trees and having to watch that, to them bombing Black girls in a church, to fast forward to where we have to work for you and we have to deal with your passive aggressiveness. We have to deal with your microaggressions. I had, you know, last year, and I don't care because I'm going to say it anyways. I was working with one organization that I was being oppressed as a Black person. I was being oppressed, and I was being made to feel like I was the issue. I was the angry one. Oh, you're overreacting. Oh, all these different things, having to deal with the microaggressions and the behind the scene tactics. And you know, really what I wanted to do is I really wanted to flip over the table. That's really what I wanted to do. I really wanted to flip over the table. But then, you know, it's kind of like, oh no, you know, you got to be the good Negro. You know, if I talk really, really nice, if I dress a certain way, I'll be respected. And then this is what I learned. No matter how I dress, no matter how I try to talk correctly, in that very moment that those individuals have the ability to exercise their right to show and to tell me that they are here and I am there, they will do it at the drop of a hat. And so I think what individuals are seeing is that we are tired, we are fed up, we are just fed up and exhausted with the things that we are having to experience. And to be honest, it's a blessing that Allah, God, whoever you believe in, has really kept us from going off.
Come on. And it's so
has
true.
Really kept us from going off, because really there are so many, we could get into you many things, but as white people, you will never experience you will never experience the anxiety and the fear of you walking down the street and a cop car is coming by you and the lights aren't even on, but your blood pressure automatically goes through the roof. Your heart automatically starts palpitating. I run in Sanford. Like, I love to run. I run around in Sanford. And, you know, one of the things that my friends and my family are always saying is like, take off your kufi, make sure you're not running at night. Like, all of these different things that nobody will ever need to ever have to worry about, right? And so I just think, like, unless you are a Black person, you'll never understand why we have so much anger and so much rage. You know, y'all are arguing over, you know, who put raisins in the potato salad, and we arguing for our lives.
Right, exactly. And it's so true. Just what you just said, just to piggyback on that, about, you know, you're saying that, okay, I gotta be mindful of, I shouldn't wear this, or don't be run, you know, I shouldn't be running at night. Now I'm heading back home now. I was in Orlando, in Orange County, at just a kickback. Friends had a birthday dinner for his boyfriend, so we were over there just hanging out. They were like, you need to be trying to leave soon because we got curfew over here in Orange County, and you do not want to be pulled over. You know, you should, and I shouldn't have to be thinking like that. Why I gotta think like that? You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, I don't know. if I do happen to get pulled over, I don't know what his mindset is. He may be so angry with all this shit that's going on and just walk up and take me out just because. Just because
we haven't gotten into that conversation where law enforcement, we're seeing that repeatedly being done with law enforcement with Black and brown folk, but it's never happening with white folk. How there's this aggressive behavior. You know, it just there was some we're seeing videos of like how, you know, white police officers are being just aggressive in the way that they are it's almost like all this built up hatred.
You know what it is? They're afraid of us. That's what it is. And they are afraid of us because they know the potential that we have. They know how smart we are. They know that stuff. So they are just there. It makes me sad because even my generation that's under me, that's those kids that are in there 19 and 20 and 20 up to 25, those kids, they don't give a damn. They don't. And they don't care. They have no clue. And the sad part is that, and I try to tell my nephews this all the time, it doesn't matter. If they pull you over, you say yes, sir, to them. But if you're saying yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, they know that you're nervous or you're scared or that, you know what I'm saying? Then they're going to just keep jugging at you till you're going to get to a point like, damn it, listen, what else you want me to say? I done said yes, sir, to you 50 times. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. And people do not. If you're not Black, you don't understand it. Like you said, you will never understand what I've had to experience. You have no clue, no idea. And I'm telling you, it hurts so bad because just watching the way that the world is and the way that the people are, and they just don't care. The cops just don't. They do not care. They don't. You know, I'm telling you, and I told Will this, we talked about this before, and I always have to say this to everybody because I just cannot understand this. I went to South Carolina. I don't know if you guys remember when in South Carolina, Charleston, when the guy went in the church and killed those 9 people. Okay. Oh yeah. I was in South Carolina at this particular time.
Wait a minute. After you finish this story, you gotta let me say something about that Charleston. Just go ahead.
I will. So I went there, right? And they were having someone's funeral at the time. They had barricades and all this. It was so much like they had it like so secured everywhere. I had to park maybe like a mile down before I had to walk up. You could feel the grief just walking down. I hadn't even got to it. You could feel the grief and the sadness. And it was just, I was literally there for 15 minutes because I could not stand in it. I was shaking. I was just so sad and hurt that these people, now I'm saying that to say that this white guy, the white guy that did this, they arrested him. Okay. They knew that he had killed those people. They sat him down, handcuffed him, set him down. They knew he had a gun. They sat him down on the concrete and gave him water to drink because he was thirsty. They put him in the police car and drove him, taking him to jail. But on their way to jail, they just happened to stop by the good old Burger King because he was hungry to get him a sandwich and some French fries. If one of anybody that looked like me and had the same skin as I do, would have walked in anybody's church, white or Black, and would have shot 9 people, they would have shot him 9 times. There is no way you're going to tell me that was okay and they think that is just fine, that they gave him water to drink because he was thirsty and took him to Burger King to eat. And that's been a couple years ago, and I still can't understand that.
Well, they will call that Southern hospitality. I will call that white privilege.
And I'm gonna tell you what I call it. I told you, y'all are the yin to my yang. I don't even address the white people shit because it's nothing to me. Because you're gonna, this country will burn. I told you I'm that nigga. That's why I needed a yin to my yang. But let me tell you about that Charleston shit. This is why I was disappointed in black people, because number one, they went into a church with your goddamn grandmas, with your goddamn granddaddies, with your cousins and your mamas, and you bitch ass niggas didn't do shit. You let these motherfuckers let this bitch, and when we heard them motherfucker stopped his ass at a Burger King, and your grandma was in there welcoming this white motherfucker in there, and y'all let them kill y'all grandma, and y'all didn't tear fucking Charleston apart. You let a bitch run in my grandma's church,
baby,
and shoot her.
So I think, I definitely hear what you're saying, Will, about like rage and anger. And I think, once again, I believe that it's effective. I believe that it's needed. I believe that it's necessary. But I also think like there are other parts and components to the revolution that when they work simultaneously with agitation and rioting and rage and protesting, it works really, really well. And so I think one of the things that we're seeing now, I'm hoping that we're seeing now as Black people, is how we can all simultaneously work together and create that synergy. There's a lot of discussion going on. Well, Martin Luther King said this and Malcolm X said that, but what people don't realize is that they really both aided one another in the common goal of the movement. You had peaceful protest that was being led by Martin Luther King, even though we should acknowledge, really honestly, it was being constructed by Bayard Rustin, a Black queer man.
Bayard Rustin, look him up.
Martin Luther King was the face of the protest revolution, and so we'll give civil rights movement, and so we'll give him that. But then you also had Malcolm X, who created agitation that kind of was like a buffer. So it's almost like both sides. Right. So I think one of the things that I've noticed early on in this discussion is folks saying, well, if you don't protest, you're not doing anything. Or if you're or if you're rioting or looting, you're not. If you're not rioting or looting, you're not doing anything. Or if you're protesting, either or, and it's not either or. It's all of the above.
All together.
I had written 2 articles this month. The first one was about how I had to update the talk with the young Black men who come in my organization. And I talked about how it needs to be a comprehensive approach that we have as Black people. We need to agitate by rioting. And if you feel like you need to loot, then you loot. Go on. We need to peacefully protest. We need to legislate. We need to vote. We need to do all of these things, so that way we leave no room. We leave them no wiggle room at all. No wiggle room at all. We need to come, do it from all angles. And so that's one of the things that I've been very mindful about when expressing my views and my thoughts, is that it's not either or, it's all of the above. We can do all of this. We can do all of this.
And that's what I want to say.
And we can do all of this. And there are different ways. And, support during this, a lot of people have asked me, what does support look like? And one of the things that I've been trying to do is looking at different ways. So if you decide that you don't want to protest or riot, that's completely fine. But you can donate. There is a bail relief fund called the LGBTQ fund, or also known as the Freedom Fund, that currently right now is bailing out LGBTQ plus folk and undocumented folk in Florida that are protesting. You can donate to that. Or you may decide that you want art might be your thing. So you can create a piece. You can do whatever you want to. Right. But at least do something. At least do something. And don't tell the other person what they need to do, what they don't need to do, policing how they're doing it. That's not how it works. That's not how we're going to continue the revolution. that'll hamper us from continuing the revolution.
Now I have a question. Oh, go ahead, Will. I'm sorry.
No, I just want to. I don't know. Keep remember your question because I'm a run. I
got it.
I want y'all to take over. But my main thing is I love what you said about all of the rioting. If you're peacefully protesting, even if you don't want to protest, you could donate to bail funds. Or if you don't want to do that, if you can consent, like even just youth messaging saying, "Oh, I support y'all. I can't be out there." Send that out. But you bitches. Again, my yin to my gang, you bitches that are here talking about some, oh, look at these niggas. And these are black folks. I told you, I'm not even addressing the white folks. That's not, I'm talking to you niggas. You niggas, oh, that's why y'all protesting. Why you stealing from Gucci? Why? Do you not understand that America has looted everything? They're looting your ass right now with systemic racism. They're looting your ass right now with socioeconomic disparity. They're looting your ass right now. They're paying you. You're working for Gucci and you're getting paid what $8.95 an hour, and you bitch can't afford to wear none of the shit you're working in. You're working for all these places that ain't paying your ass a livable wage, but you worried about us burning down the goddamn Target.
But they get discounts.
Oh, 10% because I've worked at Target. That ain't shit.
Yeah, I think everybody expresses themselves in a different way, and it is not, it's not. I'm not here to police how individuals decide that they want to express themselves. I'm here to support in any way that I can, and I would advise other individuals to do that in whatever way you do. And if and listen, fatigue is real. So for one of the things that I've been religiously doing is using the Facebook keyword snooze feature. And I've been snoozing the hell out of a lot of crap. Because
wait, what is it now? Tell me again.
So Facebook has this feature. It's called snooze by keyword, which you can put in a keyword and you can snooze it. One of my personal favorites is I'm not going to call his name. I call him 45, but I put his name in the keyword snooze because I don't have time to see anything that he has to say. But yes, protect your peace. But please, we shouldn't be out here arguing with one another over frivolous stuff. We should be here unified, fighting, fighting. We have an opportunity to really make our ancestors and our elders they're living not in vain. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I respect individuals who riot and protest and have done all of that stuff because I think of, and Jeremy, you can relate because you're a Florida boy from the area. I think of the Ocoee massacre, how white folks in Orange County collectively came together and burned Black houses, Black businesses, drove folks all the way out into the orange groves of Apopka. I think about, even in Sanford and Goldsboro, how white folk in Sanford were so jealous of the prosperity of Goldsboro, which is one of the oldest unincorporated African American communities. And what did they do? They did what a lot of these white folks do. They went behind and stole the charter.
Of course, yes.
Took it away. So I understand why people are angry. I understand why people are rioting because we've suffered. We've suffered mobs. We've suffered riotings. When you think of freedom fighters who are on a bus and got pulled off of a bus and beaten in Birmingham, in Montgomery. They're even, just some history. Henry Thames over in Mims.
Oh God.
Who was the beginning of the civil rights movement. Him and his wife on
horrible.
Christmas Day. Under their house, a stick of dynamite. Blown up. And because of during that time, how segregation was, they had to be driven all the way to
Sanford.
Because there was no hospital in Mims.
Oh my God.
They had to be driven all the way to Sanford. He died on the way, and I believe she died
9 days later or something.
But all of this anger, all of this rage, all of this that we're having to live with with, and y'all just want us to sit there and smile and take
and just keep saying, yeah, it's
take
okay.
you.
Well,
It's okay. We understand. You know, we can get. You know, we shouldn't feel angry. No,
right.
I understand why people feel angry and how it shows up. Just my thing is, use that anger and that rage and harness it to create movement, not to create harm.
I agree, but
I agree with you.
You remember your story, Jeremy?
Yes, your question.
My question.
Oh yeah. What's your question?
My question. Okay, so I want to. This is my question. We went all over, but I just kind of want to ask this question. There's a TV show called "What Would You Do?" Right? You ever seen that show? Okay.
Yep.
So my question to you guys, anybody, even those that are
watching, you can comment.
They can comment on what you feel. What would you do if you were there videotaping this that happened? What would you do? Would you have thrown your cell phone at them to, I don't know. What?
I get what you're saying.
What would you do? What would you have done?
What would I do? Yeah. In which situation?
In the situation with Mr. Floyd that passed. Yes. Floyd. Yes. What would you, if you were there videotaping, or not even videotaping, if you were just right there, standing there, and you could see that you could hear everything that we saw, you were present, what would you do?
I think I would videotape. I had shared on a post before about how someone was saying, what can we do? Someone was asking that same question, what can we do during this time? And I said, you know what? Screenshot everything they send you, record a video, upload it to social media, and let the angry mob deal with their ass. Because honestly, I feel like we would have never known George Floyd's story had it not been for a Black woman, which, by the way, Black women have been saving our asses since the dawn of time.
Yes, they have.
Okay, let's acknowledge that first. Black women have been literally saving our asses and carrying the race on their back while doing
our queens. Those are our queens.
But I would have recorded it and I would have uploaded it to social media for all the world to see.
Now, I would have hoped pre this climate that we're in right now, I would have wished I would have had the gumption to intervene, but I knew I wouldn't, because with the mindset I have, that's the police. They'll kill my ass too if I try to intervene. And I don't know who is in this crowd, because number one, they're probably just randomly walking down the street and they see this shit happening, so they stop. So these are people probably that don't know each other. So I can't trust that these people are gonna rise up with me if I try to stop them, because I can't do that alone.
Right.
I would need, but in this climate, what we're in now, if I saw that shit, and if it was I would have riled these motherfuckers up in the first 30 seconds that's around me. I would be talking all the shit I need to say, and I would be like, y'all, we finna get it, and we gonna take this bitch, just like we took over the 408 yesterday and today.
And you're proud of that, huh?
I am so proud, because that pissed them off. They was happy with the people. The thing that pissed the Orlando Police Department off, because I was there from 2:30 when we started at Post. We went to the City Hall, we went to the courthouse, we went back to City Hall, and then we walked all the way to OPD and harassed and terrorized them for 2 damn hours. They thought we was gonna leave when it started raining. We didn't. We headed straight to the 408. We said, we making this shit too easy for them. They need to know that we will burn this city down if Orlando ever fucking tries to kill a Black man like they did or Breonna Taylor for a no-knock warrant that you done served at the wrong. We will burn this city to the motherfucking ground. If you bitches ever slip up, we let them know that. And when we got on the 408, they didn't like that. They gave us, I will give them this, they gave us at least 30 minutes of warning to get off of that bitch. But we're protesting. We have a right to shut down traffic, because we have a right to do anything to disrupt, because they don't understand no justice, no peace. And that's when they tear gassed us, when they were fed up of us shutting down the 408. Now you're talking about looting, and you're talking about, I'm talking to the Black folks. I done told you, this says there were slaves that felt like Harriet Tubman was a troublemaker. Now, Harriet Tubman said she would have freed most slaves. But the problem was they didn't know they were slaves. Harriet Tubman had the history, if y'all don't do your research, she shot a few black folks that tried to stand in her way, that tried to, I ain't never seen that Harriet movie with Cynthia Erivo because I won't watch it because Harriet Tubman didn't look like that. Harriet Tubman was a rough looking woman because she didn't have shit to smile about. So I ain't watched that Cynthia Erivo shit. But Harriet Tubman didn't play these games, and that's my problem with black people that have a problem with the fucking rioting and how people are protesting. And I've seen niggas that was out there protesting here in Orlando. I ain't gonna call your name, but I could. Who was out there protesting yesterday and then was on the 408 yesterday when they shut that bitch down again today. They were mad. Oh, they were ended up on the 408 when it was shut down, and now I thought we were gonna have a day of rest. Bitch, you're weak. And this is strolling to the black folks. I don't appreciate that. If you, again, like I said, if you don't have anything to say supportive of what's happening, you don't have to say shit. Don't say nothing, because black folks, I ain't trying to keep no friends. I ain't trying to keep no associates.
At this point,
I don't give a fuck.
At this point, I don't. You know, I'm gonna tell you this. What I would have done. If you want to live, you know, you don't know how you're going to leave this world, but I'm sorry. I would have took my shoe. I probably would have been like, I just would have went up and pushed them. They've been pushing the police now. Why the hell they push his ass when they were standing there? Die. If he going to shoot you, if you were standing there and that man is hollering that he can't breathe, well, I'm telling you, that thing tore me down to know that man was calling for his mother, who is dead. She's gone.
For 2 years, she been dead, and he was calling for his mama.
Calling for his dead mother.
I feel he was transitioning, like he was
at that moment.
He was transitioning.
At that moment, he was, and I told somebody that at that moment he was like, "Come and get me now.
Yeah,
come and get me from where I am. Come and get me now, because I know that I'm on my way out of here." I'm sorry. But honey, I'd have went up there and I had to push the police. They had to put them whatever they had to do. Put them holes in me or whatever, but that's me at this point, because you can't. I had to die. At least they said, you know what? He died and that man lived, so he helped him or whatever. If that was God's will for it to be, that's how it was going to be.
It would have been. You stand for something or your ass gonna fall for any damn thing.
I'm serious. I'm telling you, and I'm not. What?
Black. Fuck, that's the black people. Rungle Ruckus, coons.
Oh my gosh! Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't need nobody coming to talk to me, apologize. Let me tell you this real quick. Now, it was almost like it was like, okay, calm down. I was inside of Hobby Lobby Friday. I'm on the phone talking to my friend Paulinda. We on the phone talking or whatever. So it was a black lady who was walking in, like we walking in together. But in Hobby Lobby, there's a couple items that they have before you actually get into the store. So she walked in right before me, but I was looking at some tables or something, and she walked on in. But I could see, her walk in, and now, it's like she looked at me, I looked at her, and it was like, we understood kind of. We I don't know, it was just something about it. You know what I'm saying? So she just walked on in the store. Now, it wasn't 10 seconds later, I followed right behind her. As soon as I walked in the store, hello, hi, hello, hi. Now, mind you, to the left of me, there were white people, white women. The store's foot only flies in the buttermilk was me and the black lady that went in before me. Okay? There were black people on the right, white people on the left, white people on the right, and there was a line of white people on one register. Okay? They only had one register open. So I go in and I walk in. They were like, hello, hi, how are you? And then the other cashier, she turns around and was like, oh my God, hello, hi, how are you? I'm like, I'm good, hi. Then I go to reach for a bucket. She's like, no, don't touch that. It is not clean. The clean ones are over there. So I was like, okay. So I go to get to the clean one. She's like, no, before you go there, there's sanitizer. Clean your hands. You don't want to do that. Clean them. You're going to be clean. I was like, alrighty then. Thank you so much. I was like, I feel so welcome because everyone now is looking at me. Thank you for welcoming me in here. I appreciate because everybody stopped because it was so loud. And I was like, are you kidding me? So this is what they're doing now? I'm just a regular black. You ain't got to do all this. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just be the way y'all normally are. You won't speak if I'm coming in here or not. You didn't speak to the black lady when she walked in. You ain't got to do all that for me. Then I get in the line to purchase my items. There's a little line, still one register. White cashier walks over. Hey, you ready to check out? I said, yes. Shit, I'm in line. She's like, oh, come over here. I'll take you. I was like, what the fuck is going on in here? But, they feel like they just had to do that. And they didn't have to do that. Be yourself because it's not real. You know what I'm saying? You put, no, it ain't genuine. It is what it is. I don't need all that. Just keep it real. With me, at least.
Yeah, I feel agree. I definitely agree with you, Jeremy. I think there are other ways that white people can show up that are genuine, that's genuine, and that is real. And yeah, like I can understand how you feel perturbed, or how you feel. I think that's one of the things. Like with me, when I'm being asked, like presently in this moment by some white people, like, how do you feel?
Exactly.
Wait. How do I feel?
Cricket. Yeah, that's just where it should be. Silent. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Right.
Yeah. Like how am I supposed to feel? How am I supposed
and this, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna share this with you guys. I'm sorry, I gotta turn my car back. It's hot. I'm gonna share this with you guys. I work in a doctor's office. So one of my patients, he see him all the time. Never was an issue, just whatever, He was always kind of like, but hey, it was just regular. He in and out, right? The doctor that I work for is black also. Well, he left the office one day. And he had to go to a specialist. He goes in the specialist office. They call us back saying, oh my God, I can't believe that you guys have this guy here. We're not going to service him. You're going to have to find another specialist because we're not going to have him here. He's talking about, he can't believe that all those black people work in that office. And he was like, we should be working in a warehouse. And he can't believe that Dr. Berry has all these black people. And I was like, I couldn't believe that because seeing him every day, or all the time, whenever he comes in, whenever he needs something, we're right there to give it to him or whatever he needs, taking care of him, making sure he's staying out of the hospital, all of that. Never knew that he felt that way. Then it made me think about all the other patients that I see that come in the office and how they feel, because I would have never thought that he felt that way about me or my black doctor or my black manager that works in there or the black nurse that works in there. Would have never thought about that. And it's just...
That goes back to what we were saying. When they have the moment to say how they really feel, they will let you know, or let whoever they need to know.
No. They're gonna let them know.
Yes, because that's what they do.
Damn sure gonna let me know.
Yes. Well, there are some who they will tell you to your face that they don't really care for you, but then there are others who, they'll kiki with you. They may even eat lunch with you. They may even, like,
I don't play those rockhead games.
I like people of color. I like black people, all of that. But
I voted for Obama.
But when they get that moment to show you who they really are and do some stuff behind the scenes, they'll show you. There was a comment that kept popping up, and it disappeared, but it said something about Rosewood. There was a young lady.
That's my niece, actually. She said, I want to talk about Rosewood, 12 years a slave.
I wouldn't dare watch Roots. What do you want to talk about?
They filmed that in Sanford, too.
Do you want to talk about?
They filmed that right in Sanford.
We could talk a lot about the funny thing is Rosewood is known because they did a movie on it. But there's so many towns in Florida that have been burned to the ground, especially if you go up 75 to towards Lake City and then cut across to the Panhandle, all of that's been burned.
Oh, my neck of the woods. Let me tell you.
So many of us, done hung so many of us.
Well, which one did he say that I hope they deserve to die and I hope they burn in hell? That's my favorite part. Which one was that in?
That was To Kill a Mockingbird.
A Time to Kill.
A Time to Kill. That's what
That's it.
about.
Yes, that was my favorite part. I like that. That was my favorite.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Yes, and he meant it. He meant that. He meant
but
that.
Yeah, they've been doing that to us for they've been, yes. So they did burn down churches, China. So there's like, if you look at the history, especially like because I love history, especially history in Florida because of my personal connection to being a Floridian. And if you notice, they had a systematic process that they would do when they wanted to get land from Blacks. So they would come up with a rumor of some type. Typically their go-to was a white woman was raped by a Black man.
And that was the easiest one. That was the easiest one. Yeah, that was
except for in the instance of Goldsboro, they couldn't dig up no dirt.
Right.
So the only thing they could do was kind of like what they considered the proper way, which was to go to Tallahassee and get the charter stolen. But typically they would come up with a rumor, then that would give them cause to create a mob. They would come in, they would burn down everything, and then they would take over the land. That's exactly what happened with Ocoee. A lot of the Blacks had to flee up to Zellwood, up to Apopka. They never came back to Ocoee until later. It was like the 1960s. But by then, the land had already been taken over by white folks.
Let me tell you, today is the 99th anniversary of the Tulsa 1921 massacre, where Black Wall Street in Green fucking Wood, Oklahoma, where businesses and prosperous Black folks, the elite, lived, and the white people use that same little ploy, that somebody was harassing a white woman.
They looked at it.
They bombed that city and that town from the air. The Ku Klux Klan come through and ravage and shoot people dead on the street and burn that bitch to the ground. The reports that officially, they ain't teach us about this in school. And the official report said 300 to 400 people. But now, as Oklahoma City officials have just uncovered in 2019, that it was over 3,000 or 4,000 Black people that were killed and buried and burnt in unmarked graves.
And ain't it something to where years later, this, you find out that like the individual lied, like with Emmett Till, and then it's like, oh, we're sorry, it was a mistake,
and we supposed to
know.
And then they're not held accountable for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Jeremy, and not held accountable for anything. And I think that's the part where, once again, the rage comes is like, as Black folk, we could be killed just off of speculation.
Right.
We're not afforded the moment of, let's think, let's see if this is true or false. Let's see if like this really happened. We're not afforded that luxury.
Right.
Now let me play this, because people didn't like when I posted this, so I don't give a fuck.
Oh.
Hold on.
Okay.
As they kill us and go to Wendy's and have a burger and go to sleep, they're going to keep killing us. But when we die and they die, then soon we're going to sit at a table and talk about retired. We want some of this earth. They'll tear this goddamn country up.
Now let me tell you something, Paul. This is why I don't give a fuck about this country burning. Number one, because like y'all said earlier, they lucky we're not looking for revenge.
Right.
Because revenge, we'll be going to these suburbs and murdering you motherfuckers. The cops.
Just blowing the houses up.
The families.
Yep. Everybody.
Now that's revenge. We ain't looking for that. Now, I can't speak for all. The majority of all of us ain't looking. The majority of us ain't looking for that, because we not them cold-hearted, blooded killers like y'all are. We ain't gonna murder your families. And listen, I'm a reel it in, but I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like what I agree completely with what the minister said. Until they're not gonna stop killing us until these, like that officer, like I love how they ran to this bitch house and tried to get his ass. Get him. I'm sorry if you don't like it. You can kiss my ass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because y'all kill us, and you mad because we out here protesting. You mad because people fighting for justice. You mad because people are burning Gucci and they looting Gucci and Dior. Fuck Gucci and Dior.
Because it ain't even about that. Yep. No. You know what? I'm gonna tell you. You posted one video, and a lot of people have been posting this video, but you posted it, and it was but I've seen it before, and it was this black lady. It had to be. I'm telling you, 1960 something maybe.
And,
I literally.
Fannie Lou Hammer.
Listen,
yes.
listen to me. I literally watch it. I play it before I go to bed. When I wake up, I just love just to hear her because it is so relevant. You know what I'm saying? And it's the truth. It is the truth.
And that video was from 1968.
Okay, and there you go. Okay, there you go. Now here, 50 years later,
come on.
You know what I'm saying? You're still the same thing. 50 years later, 51, 52 years later, you the same thing.
And this is what
it's crazy. And we've been dealing with this. So we got every right to burn and blow shit up. And like you said, it is the God honest truth. If it was for revenge, I'm telling you, we will be in their neighborhoods. But you know, because I thank God for Jesus. I thank God that we were raised so differently because we ain't going out there just shooting shit up.
We ain't doing that.
We could have easily said, you know what? My generation, the next generation, they could have said, you know what they did to my grandma, my ancestors, I'm gonna do the same thing. We can go to their houses and just throwing shit up. Right, and doing all that. But we weren't raised like that.
We weren't.
We were raised to. There's a man upstairs. We're gonna pray to him, and he gonna take care of it. And we know that he will because we believe that he will, and he will in his time. But
go ahead.
We could easily go to your house and blow all y'all shit up, and don't think nothing about it because it's some of us out there that look like me, and look like you, and look like him. You know what? That they ready to do it.
Let me tell you, when in Orlando protests. We was watching the whites and the skateboarding boys out there because they was ready to anarch. They was ready to arise and blow this bitch to the ground. But we made sure, like, no, we ain't finna do that.
Right.
But let me tell you something. It was niggas out here when we got to the police department, and you know that's right in Paramore neighborhood. And they saw all them niggas. They saw all us out there. Oh, I saw my people from the hood coming out. They're like, oh, yes, it is. And let me tell you, I ain't gonna show. I have video of all this, but I ain't posting it because I ain't gonna let them motherfuckers see shit. I post the videos I wanted to post, but they walked through the crowd. They went and made them some signs real quick, and they made some signs. They're like, y'all, the front line here. They bust through the crowd, got right to the front.
Go ahead on my people.
They didn't give a fuck.
They're my people.
They didn't give a fuck.
Let them. They don't. They don't. No. They really don't.
They didn't care at all. They pulled their car right in front of the police station, started blasting Chief Keef, and everybody chanting to the beat, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, all this. I mean, like, you put that police station in the right neighborhood, bitch. Because
you know, I think we are at the beginning of hopefully what will be, you know, the revolution, the movement work.
You really think so? Do you really think so right now?
You know, I that is my hope. My hope is that this is the beginning of like the movement work. But if anything, the civil rights movement has taught us is that it didn't happen overnight, that there were so many different people that were organizing and that were mobilizing. And I think that for me, I always go back to the civil rights movement just because one, I'm a history buff, but two, there is so much strength that our ancestors and our elders had that sometimes I wish I'm not gonna put us all in the same pot. That I wish some of us as Black folk had. You know, I think of, you know, I think of my grandmother and my grandfather and all of them who during the civil rights movement, you know, they didn't care that it would take them 5 miles to walk.
Right.
They would actually walk the 5 miles, or they would organize and get in cars, or they would say, you know what, we're not going to support this store. We're going to make our own clothes. And so, you know, I hope that this movement work continues, because there's some other, well, I can say it. Sometimes we get so easily distracted in some of the other things, you know. I think of like Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, and how he has basically said on record that like Facebook is not going to censor 45. Not going to censor 45 at all. If you look at the history of Facebook, Facebook has been known to support some of this hateful rhetoric that we are seeing. And so really, I am looking forward to the time where we can collectively like, fuck Facebook.
And we need our own,
you know, like we, you know, fuck all of these, you know, fuck all of these things. But I think it's coming. I just think
it's gonna be a matter of a minute before
we are holding ourselves back in some instances. But that happened with the civil rights movement. There were some individuals that they weren't on board in the beginning, and then they became on board in the end. And so that's my hope. But I think at least now we have the permit. We've always had the permission to say what we want to say. But at least now, like, folks can know, like, it's okay for you to be like, I'm upset, I'm angry, like this needs to change. And the power that we have, you know, the power that we have in numbers, when we come together, we can really make stuff happen.
And let me say why I think this is the revolution. Because Jeremy, you asked that, do you? Because he said, and you say, do you really think so? This is the revolution? Yes, it definitely is the beginning of the revolution. But I'm gonna tell you why it's the revolution. I appreciate all that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all the people that fought in the civil rights era and all that and what they did. But let me tell you something. This generation, because number one, time for the earthly realm is winding down.
Oh, wow.
So this generation, we're not waiting 50 fucking years to make the law pass. We ain't gonna just wait till November and vote a goddamn ballot and wait for Biden to change shit. We're not gonna wait till November and just wait and see what the police are gonna do with the commission and the DA finna do. And if we vote the blue motherfuckers in, we ain't finna wait to see what they're doing. No, let me tell you about the strategy, what needs to happen. Y'all, there are different, like you said, there's aspects to all of this. The Black experience, the Black revolution. We have our protesters, we have our rioters, we have our organizers. While these people are out here burning this country to the ground, all you organizers need to get behind closed doors, behind all the shit, and start planning and plotting. Don't tell these motherfuckers to stop burning this shit down. Don't tell us to stop because martial law is coming. Don't tell us to stop because they bring in the National Guard. Bitch, we see it. We see it when we was out there on the damn 408. We saw it. We saw it. We were prepared for it. Don't tell people why you run your mouth and telling us not to do something. Get your ass and start organizing shit while we doing this and distracting them motherfuckers. This is the time for you to be organizing. Not, oh God, this is a disgrace to Black people. Fuck you. You's a coon. And we don't want you. And after we do the white folks, we're gonna come burn all you coons down to the ground.
In this, let's go ahead.
Wow.
And this is you. This is y'all who we coming for.
Oh wow.
We will burn you down.
Oh God.
And I plan on burning you, bitch. I'm roasting you all on Facebook and Twitter. I mean, like, I've been in arguments with so-called friends, all this shit because of this riot shit. What are you stealing for? And you Christians, let me tell you something. Oh yes, because I identify as such, so I can read y'all.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll be quiet then.
Let me tell you something, Christians,
right
and you church thumping motherfuckers.
Okay.
You want to talk about what Martin Luther King would do? Let me tell you one thing Martin Luther King did. He did get his ass out on the streets. He did get his ass out there organizing. He was the lead of the revolution. While y'all behind your church talking about, oh, we just gonna pray. Oh, we just gonna do this. Get your ass out in the streets with the people. And y'all maybe could be the ones to keep shit peaceful if you was there. But don't sit behind your church pulpits. Don't sit behind your screens and your church pages on Facebook when you're going live talking about, oh, we need to pray and peace, and fuck your peace. No change was done with peace, because when Martin Luther King walked across that bridge in Selma peacefully, the police was waiting on the other side to beat and gas and whoop their ass.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
So may I, because I hear you. I hear you, and there are things with you that I resonate with. I think individuals should show up in the way that's comfortable for them, but I do agree that there's a responsibility that our religious institutions have to speaking truth to power in this moment and in this time. And I had shared this earlier when we were talking. I'm looking at them as well. Am I expecting much from them? Honestly, I'm not, especially if we think about the fact that a lot of them have LGBTQ plus parishioners and they can't even speak up for that. I'm not expecting for them to speak up for, I went there. I did. I went there.
He always find a way to slide back into that anyway. So
yes, he doing.
If you haven't noticed, he always slides back into there.
Listen, this is the way I feel. I
respect it.
I love it.
I am not here to police anyone's spiritual journey. However, what I will say is, I would ask myself, if this is how I step into a house of worship, all of the intersections of me, I want to feel like all of those intersections are seen, are heard, are valued, are respected. I would not feel comfortable giving my tithes, my offering, my talents, my gifts, my ministry to a house of worship that does not acknowledge me as a human being. Now, what folks decide that what they want to do at their house, at their residence, is up between them, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whoever they respect and whoever they worship. However, during this time, you can't help but feel something if you're going to a house of worship and you're not hearing them make a statement or say anything at all.
And if their statement is to go home, fuck that.
I think, I'm not against peace. I'm not against prayer. We need peace. We need prayer, but we also need some type of tangible actions. So once again, you're not required to come to a protest or come to a riot, but maybe you decide, we're going to provide food for folks. Or we are going to, like I said, donate to or maybe you're going to share information with protesters about you're going to a protest. These are some of the things that you need to have in place. Have an emergency contact. Make sure, that you have your your cell phone. Make sure that if you if you take medication, that you have your medication on hand 3 days, just in case you get apprehended. There are other ways of sharing or helping. Or maybe you just you're like, our fellowship hall is open.
Right.
That there are different ways, but I feel like the time to take action in whatever way you can is to take action. So I hope I didn't go too deep in, Jeremy.
No, you didn't. No,
always slide.
You do, but you know what? It's true though, because I didn't think, but it made me think, because it is so true. there's churches, I'm sure, that they passed by in Orlando that they were, when they were out protesting. Yeah, you know what? Here's a station. We got plenty of water for you guys out here. Why don't you stop by? Come and get you some water. Refresh yourselves, what have you. You know what I mean? So yeah, there are things, because now it's pushed me to say, you know what do I need to do? I need to do something. Maybe I can band up my friends. We party together, we hang together. Maybe I can get them together and say, hey, let's try to do something and do our part.
Even if it's a post.
Right.
It doesn't even if it's a post. Even if it's a, hey, you all, this is the curfew, wooty 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 woo, or even if it, just something, just show a part, action, and be a part.
And let me tell you something. Stop with y'all got me on the church. Let me say this thing about your tithes, people.
No, let me tell you this though. When he was speaking, that was what you had already spoke to me, before about, with me, with my Facebook versus my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he was talking directly to me.
Oh, he was. He was coming for you, and I let him give it to you.
Did.
Yeah,
you did.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes, you did. Yeah, because I almost, it was a little X down here at the bottom that says leave, and I almost left.
Oh, he was getting to you.
I was gonna exit. Yeah, I was okay. Yeah, it was going. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
No, it's the ties, especially now that, let me tell you, especially with COVID-19 and nobody's been really supposed to be in church houses and those close gatherings. When you're paying your tithes is mainly giving 10% to the church or to God. And the church apparently uses those monies to pay their bills, which are dirt cheap because they're not paying taxes. But at this point, this is a start of a revolution, and I know the revolution will lead into the new world order revolution, revelation type shit, the end of the world. I get all that because this is the path that we're on. Stop spending. Tithing doesn't have to be just money you're paying to the church. You can tithe with your time. You can tithe your money to some other, or tithe your money to, I'm going to donate the tithe that I was using to this Freedom Fund organization. I'm going to tithe to this old lady. She ain't got no food this month, or I help her buy this. That is tithing to the church, because we are the church, and you damn bastards who don't know that and are still stuck in that Old Testament Pharisees.
You got that. Listen, you got that same button at the bottom down there. Okay.
If I leave, I'm leaving y'all out. I'm leaving y'all out, and I'm gonna still be on your ring.
I resonate, and I hear what you're saying, but I just want to make an amendment to it. Tithing already belongs to the Lord. That is His. That's His. We can't. We don't touch that. That is His. We give to Him what is His. But what you can do is your offering.
Okay.
The Lord requires a tithe.
He does.
That's His.
He needs that.
He requires it. He demands it. But He said, if we decide to give an offering, that is how we are blessed in return, by how we are convicted in our heart.
Right.
So I would say, whatever your offering is,
okay,
just make sure that offering is however way you want to make that offering. I just wanted to amend that. I'm sorry.
We accept the amendment. The amendment is cleared and passed.
I'm looking out for you, Jeremy.
I appreciate it.
we voted the amendment in, so we accept the amendment.
Well, I can say that I have honestly been enjoying my Instagram. I can't stay off of my phone. I can't wait to go to bed tonight because I've enjoyed every. Listen, I literally just watched a video where I saw a guy throw something at a police car. The police ran up to him. The cops ran up to him, grabbed him, tried to choke him, pushed him over. He jumped over a fence. He came back around, ran back around,
and kicked the shit out of him.
When I tell you he put him down, I replayed it like 25 times.
Down.
Wow.
I've been loving all this.
You didn't see that? Daniel, you haven't seen that?
You know what? Well, I've been using the snooze feeture. So it probably... But I would definitely hunt for it.
I'm gonna have to send that to you because I want you to enjoy it just as much as I did. I enjoyed that.
But when we talking about videos of the ride, let me tell you the video. If y'all please, if you don't have a Twitter, make one tonight. Even if you don't post it, but just to watch the foolery, because Twitter has the source of everything. Okay. And this video here with this bitch here.
Now I'm done.
Wait, was that the lady who got hit with the extinguisher?
Yes, she needed it because I watched every angle. I watched every video.
Wait a
Number one,
minute.
that bitch can walk.
Wait a minute.
Let me put her back up.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wow.
And if you, and I just want you to know.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
So weak.
Oh gosh.
So
man. Oh gosh.
I'm
Listen, while you in that wheelchair, first of all, okay, trying to protect anything. But you know what? I give her credit because Friend was really doing her job. She was out there
really
trying.
on it. She was on her
for
job.
real. She was on her job. She was on her job. She was like, you know what? I'm gonna take one for the team.
That bitch.
But listen, but check this out. Then I saw another video where it was a white guy. Did you see him where he had the bow and arrow?
Yes, and they whooped his ass.
Wait, listen to me. But then the news reporter asked him, "Well, who did that to your eye?" He said it were two black guys, two African American black guys. How in the hell did you see all? Because what I saw, the little bit that I could see was about 90,000 of them running on your ass.
Like literally,
really, 90 of them.
Thousands of your ass coming for you.
You know what? I promise you. I said, how? And then you singled out those two little black guys that you saw, but they beat his ass and then set the car on fire.
Let me tell you something else. Right before this, we went on live on Minnesota on the interstate. The 18-wheeler tanker plowed 2,000 of people in the crowd. I think he hit a couple of them, but they jumped on that truck, kicked the windshield. It's video on my Twitter. I'm telling y'all, you need to. I'm not gonna play it on here, but shit. It took over the 18-wheeler, kicked the window in, and drug his ass out.
Oh wow!
Beat the shit out of him. I mean, beat the shit out of him.
Mama,
people ain't playing.
Yeah, they're not. They're really not. They're really not. They're just not. They're fed up.
I stay up all night smiling when I see things like this. I get my heart's desires of joy when I see this kind of stuff. I love when I'm getting my blessing, when I'm watching the burning of America. I love it. I live for it, and I'm all for the fuckery.
Oh gosh!
I don't give a damn who don't like it.
Listen, I'm telling you.
I don't. President Trump is in the bunker right now. Let's just keep that in mind. They put his ass in the bunker on the bottom of the White House because they are.
Whoa. Wait, what?
At this moment, as we're on this live.
Well, I did see that there was a lot of organizing outside of the White House. Like there was a lot of people that were organizing.
You kidding me?
That were organizing, yeah.
The last time a president or a vice president has went into a bunker was in 9/11, and that was Dick Cheney. It wasn't George Bush because George Bush ass was at Camp David. Cheney was the last person to ever go into a bunker.
Are you serious?
He's in the bunker. This has been confirmed by official news sources.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Well, I don't have any when someone was saying when that seed grew up. I'm not sure what they were referring.
That's for me. That's an
I don't have any salacious videos, but I did take the time to create a Black Lives Matter playlist. It has every emotion and feeling that you could feel as a Black person. So you are more than welcome to follow it on Spotify. I will give Will the link.
Please, I will post it in this video.
And it has explicit music, just, for the saints. This is a disclaimer for the saints.
Well, sinners have souls too, honey.
There's some continuous, profanity in some of these songs, but
I'm gonna play one more thing, and then before we got one more topic to talk about because I ain't done with Trump's ass real quick. But I want
all the cops, not just some of them, not just here in Minneapolis. Charge them in every city across America where people are being murdered. Charge them everywhere. That's the bottom line. Charge the cops. Do your job. Do what you say this country is supposed to be about, the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired. Don't talk to us about looting. Y'all are looters. America has looted Black people. America looted the Native Americans when they first came here. So looting is what you do. We learned it from you. We learned violence from you. We learned violence from you. The violence was what we learned from you. So if you want us to do better, then damn it, you do better.
Oh, tell them, girl.
And that's exactly how I feel.
Tell them.
Bitch.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
You dumb old. I'm finna post them right now, Dan.
Yeah, I just realized that it was able to do that. I was like, oh, that is so cool.
Ain't that the shit?
Yeah. I've enjoyed our conversation with, and I think if anything, Black folks should have conversations like these where we are able to share with one another our fears, our frustrations. It just, honestly, it feels really therapeutic to be able to, share it with my Black folk, with my family.
Right.
And for it to be understood versus to share it, and it's kind of like
falls on deaf dumbass ears.
Right.
Exactly. So I'm so glad
we have a way that we understand each other. They would never understand us. And I could say I grew up and my mom said this, and you'll instantly know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? We just have that connection, and it's the most beautiful thing ever, because we just connect with each other like that all the time. Foods we eat, just certain things that we have. It's a blessing. I wouldn't want to be any other race than the one that I am, and I enjoy being a Black male. I do. And unfortunately, I have to take what comes with it. I don't agree. But it is what it is. But hopefully one day, when the
glory comes.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm gonna listen to that tonight.
It will be out.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to that tonight. I like that. I thought I listened to what was my friend name again? I forgot her name. The video I told you that I liked, the lady. What was her name?
Oh,
the video.
Louis,
the Black lady.
Fannie Mae. What's her name?
Fannie Lou Hamer.
Fannie Lou Hamer.
Okay, Fannie Lou Hamer. Okay. All right, I need to look her up. I want to see if I can find.
I would also recommend Nina Simone.
Some good Nina Simone. Yeah.
Yeah, she's good. I like her.
Yeah. I just want to say two quick things. Now, the hacker group Anonymous is out into the streets, and they're all with the shits. They've already exposed all kinds of shit. They shut down the Minneapolis police website, hacked into Chicago PD police radio.
Well, can they hack into student loans?
We're gonna pray for that. That we pray for that too. But let me just say that they're doing all these things.
3,000 left.
We'll worry about that after we burn the country down. Fuck that. Burn this country down. Then we'll clear credit scores, and then I need this bitch here.
Oh Lord. Okay?
Now, they already exposed that Naomi Campbell, yes, bitch, we clocking you too. Naomi Campbell, Chris Tucker, all these bitches was part of that Jeffrey Epstein sex ring. It's been filed, documented. We have the proof. If you want to see all that, you can go to my Facebook page. You can see that Donald Trump was a part of the Jeffrey Epstein, that he's a pedophile and he's a rapist. And you can also see that they released the emails and passwords to every Minnesota Police Department cop. And I have posted that on my Facebook as well. That's why I'm saying they may shut my Facebook down very soon.
You took the words out my mouth. I was like, well, we probably won't be on here next Sunday, you guys.
No worries. This is not on my page.
Oh, okay.
My personal page. That's not on Sweet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sweet will be here.
Okay.
That's not on Sweet's thing. But if they do try to shut it down, we'll make another one. But one last thing for the protesters, this is the last thing on my page for people that are protesting and people that are rioting. And if you're looting, you need to know this shit too. This is on my page. I'm not going to talk about all these, but these are how to protect your data. Protect your location, turn all that location shit off, even in your settings. Go into there. There's the location in there that shows everywhere you went, your house. It recognizes you need to turn all that shit off and scrub all of that shit. Because I did before I went to the protest.
I know you're sharing this, but can I just add one thing about protesting? If you are going to go live or post, please be respectful and not try to capture folks' faces if you can, because police departments do have units. Oh, yes, you did. I'm so sorry.
That's right. I was going through it fast.
Yes. But police departments do have specific units that go and scrub through that. And I would encourage you to go to the ACLU's website as well. It'll give you a lot of good tips if you've never protested or rioted before.
And there you go, people. I'm not going to talk much after this, but this is the end of this. I appreciate Jeremy. I appreciate you so much for coming in. Daniel. And we're going to have this. This is going to be spur of the moment shit every fucking, not every week. This is going to come in. I don't know when. But
wow.
As this shit unfolds, we got to give it. We need to talk.
I'm glad that Jeremy and I were ready like it was the rapture.
Okay. Hello. Because I am ready.
He's ready.
Listen.
I'm ready. You hear me?
We were ready to be caught up.
Are you as ready as Jennifer?
Oh, no.
Not quite that ready. Will, one thing I need you to do for me.
I cannot.
I need you to send me whatever you may have.
I'm sending it.
I have enjoyed, I'm telling you. I'm going to charge this phone.
Friend, you are not laying up in bed snacking these things again.
What? Are you kidding me? I get my chips and my ice cream. And I laughed and I replay the videos. I've watched them. All the ones I've watched, I probably watched them at least 20 times. Because I just enjoy.
Well, y'all send them over my way.
Then I listen
to you with this shit.
Then I listen to my gospel and go to sleep. I listen to my gospel and go to sleep.
Get your spirit back right.
I get my spirit back right. Because I be all in my flesh.
I'm done. Yes. I am done. I'll stay on that.
And that's it on Sweet the Podcast, episode 28. Because I'm in this broadcast.